Should we get on some nerdy news, Horizontal?
I think we should.
Back to some more Marvel good news.
Mm-hmm.
X-Men 97 trailer.
Yes, been in the works for a while now.
I'm so ready. I've seen this trailer. We've got the release date, which is March 20th.
Yep.
And I'm like, right, it is now time to sit down and rewatch all of the old X-Men cartoons just so that I'm ready.
Well, you're definitely going to have to because it's leading straight on.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other thing. If you haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a while and want to be up to date when it comes out, now is the perfect time to. It's 5 seasons. They're 20-minute episodes. Very easy to get through in the next month or a month and a bit.
Mm.
And it's definitely worth doing. I'm just so excited. It looks so good. It's close enough to the original style that it feels like the same show.
Yep.
But just brought up to modern a little bit. It's gone from 2D to 3D. Looks good.
Yeah, it has the same visual vibe, just like a more modern, like polishing pass on it.
I'm gonna get out ahead of it.
Okay.
Any motherfucker tries to call this show woke, I'm gonna slap them in the face. For 3 reasons. The exact same vibe the original had.
Yeah.
2, woke is a bullshit term that you probably can't even define. 3, the X-Men are the gayest motherfuckers to ever exist.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone complains, it's like, were you complaining about the original show? No.
The X-Men are the minority.
Mm.
Like, they are literally designed so that every minority of any can feel a sense of attachment to the X-Men.
Yeah.
That's why the X-Men were one of Marvel's best-selling properties for so years.
Yeah.
Because anyone who's into comics who felt excluded or left out by the rest of the world,
yeah, they hit everyone in one show.
Yes, that was the beauty of the X-Men. The X-Men were outcast from society. They're made to feel like shit for just being who they were and what they couldn't control.
Mm-hmm.
It's not been turned into some woke propaganda. That was how they were always supposed to be. If you are an outcast for something you can't control, you're an X-Man.
I look forward to those people that try to say it's woke and the whole internet just shuts them down.
Also, and I don't normally make comments like this because I don't think it's very often necessary.
Okay.
To talk about the visual appeal of characters.
Okay.
God, these characters are drawn the horniest way possible. and that is something I vividly remember from the original show.
Rogue.
Yes. No, that's the thing. Everyone remembers a character from that show that just made them go, I don't want to play with toys anymore, apart from maybe that toy.
Everyone was like, I'm suddenly really into X-Men.
Yeah. Rogue for a lot of teenage boys was a realization. Rogue for a lot of teenage girls was a realization.
True.
I'm excited to see Cyclops get his flowers again. Because he's been treated like a punching bag for a number of years. My girl Jubilee, I adore Jubilee. She's fucking awesome. Seeing Jubilee back was awesome. Seeing Gambit again, fucking awesome. Hairy chest Wolverine Beast. I forgot how much of a, and I don't use this word lightly, slut Magneto looks like in the old show with his long hair.
Yeah, he looks so different from what people have come to remember.
Even when I think back to that show, even though it's a cartoon, I still think of Ian McKellen's face at this point.
Well, yeah, it's just been so long.
Yeah. I can't wait. I love it so much. It's so perfect. But the big other thing that comes along with this is the revelation of the new Marvel animation branding.
Yeah.
So now we've got the MCU, we've got Marvel Spotlight, and now we've got Marvel Animation.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the first thing I have to do about this is burst a lot of people's balloons.
Okay.
People have seen this Marvel Animation branding and they've got very excited. Rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But they've instantly assumed it means we're getting an OG version of Spider-Man continuation. Or maybe a spectacular Spider-Man continuation. Ladies and gentlemen, we know Spider-Man freshman year is around the corner.
Yeah.
Marvel have never, will never, ever, have 2 Spider-Man cartoons airing at the same time.
No.
Even if one comes out at the beginning of the year and one comes out in the middle of the year. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no.
It's not happening. They have literally cancelled Spectacular Spider-Man to make the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, they
It's
were.
like a rule they have.
Yeah.
It's not like they have to ask Sony for permission, because in cartoon form they own the full rights to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They just won't do it.
No.
It sucks.
It does, but like the good side of that is we are getting a Spider-Man one soon. This is clearly them setting it all up now with like that's also going to be under the Marvel Animation branding and all that.
The good news
Oh.
is there were a number of cartoons around the same time as Spider-Man and X-Men, including an Iron Man, a Fantastic Four, that were set in the same universe that have tiny little crossovers.
Okay.
They could come back.
I could see I think a Fantastic Four maybe not, because we're only just going to get the MCU version.
But you could argue that's to
Yes,
pump up the excitement a
but
little bit.
I think more likely they'd be like, let's do an Iron Man one. RDJ, do you want to come back as a voice actor?
Yeah.
Everyone loves you. Everyone really wants you back as Iron Man.
But also forgetting that, they could just go, yeah, we've got X-Men 97 because there was a story we wanted to tell. They could start their own new animated universe. They could
Yeah,
do what
they could.
DC did for years and just take actual comic book runs,
Yeah.
famous comic book runs, and just adapt them into films,
Yeah.
TV shows for animation.
That's very true.
I think they have seen the success of the Spider-Verse films, and they've gone, hold on a gosh darn minute.
We need Spider-Man.
we can do some stuff here. We have got the talent, we've got the money. There is obviously the desire for this.
I think also like the first What If was a success, and they were like, okay, we can do new animated stuff on top of, like you say, Spider-Verse and that. It's like, okay, we need to kind of get ahead and do our own thing here.
There is absolutely some animation desire out there. I know animation doesn't sell as well, but what I will say is I know for a fact that Jenna's mother and my father thought cartoons were for kids, and they gave What If a chance, and I was like, you're missing out on a lot of good animation, and they liked What If.
Get them into anime and that'll completely change their perspective.
So I think now might be their best time ever for like relaunching animated stuff.
Yeah, I think also, like, as much as I joke though about anime has become a lot bigger and a lot more popular than it used to be. Like, they understand now there is an adult audience for animated stuff. Like and people will watch it.
Also, I forgot there was a Daredevil cartoon that got canned. Give us Daredevil back.
That's also.
And also, once again, going back to what we discussed a couple of weeks ago about Star Wars What If, and I wanted Marvel Visions.
Yes.
Make it happen. I want it. Give me Marvel Visions.
They could, because they could
see anime style Daredevil, and then claymation. I know what would be awesome in claymation. X-Men or Fantastic Four in claymation would be fucking lit. Just give me anything.
You could do Fantastic Four in claymation, because like stretching and
like it works.
Yeah.
Like I need it. I need it so badly. Speaking on What If though, What If season 3 is rumored to apparently include some X-Men characters, and this is broken after the reveal of X-Men 97.
That wouldn't surprise me.
We put it this way: we are now officially with Deadpool 3 bringing the X-Men into the MCU.
Yes.
They might not be used in a live-action MCU project for another few years, but they're going to be there. They're going to be in an MCU project.
Yeah, if anything, we're at least going to have had the Wolverine, like an MCU Wolverine revealed of who is potentially going to play him.
We're going to have X-Men 97, which will be the first X-Men project 100% done by Disney since they got the rights back.
Yep.
we are now at the point where X-Men characters are available for pitches.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now we're getting at the point where what if creators get to go, can I have Cyclops? Can I have Beast? Can I have Storm? Give me what if Black Panther and Storm getting married? Because we're not going to get it in the MCU, but we can get it in fucking What If. I need it. I want it. I
Well, yeah,
deserve it.
there's a lot of potential there of like what they could do with it, for sure.
I have not been this excited, and I think it's coming across despite how ill I am, about the future of comic book media for a while. This week, and just getting to see stuff that looks like it's being influenced more by creative people than money people has got me so excited, man.
Yeah.
Shit like this week is why we do this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, so beyond excited. That X-Men 97 trailer, the Fantastic Four reveal, the Deadpool 3 trailer, like, this is why we do it. I'm so excited. Yes, 2024 is going to have its down bits compared to other years just because of the shit house of the last few years.
Yeah.
We've got stuff. We'll get through that. It's not a problem. 2025,
Mm.
I genuinely believe, probably naively, that we're going to turn up for 52 episodes in 2025 with massive smiles on our face because of what we've just seen and what we're about to go see. It's going to be
Oh,
fucking great.
there's very high potential that 2025 is like
An
such a great,
all-timer.
a great year.
Yeah. Even more good news. We got our trailer for Invincible Part 2.
We did.
Does it suck we've had to wait this long? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do I give a fuck when that episode comes out and I'm going to watch it? No, the fuck I do not. I cannot wait.
No, I think as soon as we're back into it, it's like, okay, cool, we're back.
Yeah.
The trailer looks very good. I'm intrigued to see where we go because obviously we left with Mark was left on the planet.
Yeah.
Going off the trailer, there's clips of him helping them rebuild.
Yeah, it looks like they nurse him back to health.
Yeah, he obviously gets back to Earth. Earth's dealing with its own issues. The Martian weird little bug things are trying to invade Earth.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be a storyline. Obviously, we've got the, I forget his name now, but the time traveling guy.
Yeah. Dimension hopping guy.
Yeah, he's obviously going to be hopping around.
Yeah.
What else is revealed in the trailer? Oh, we get like one clip of Omni-Man in prison, essentially.
Yeah.
Being questioned.
Viltrumite prison.
Yeah.
We got Mark with a cape, which I've seen what that's about, and holy shit, that's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Because as I've said, I've not read all the comics. I've made the decision, even though I want all the comics, to wait until we've seen the show, or at least a fair bit of the show.
Yeah.
And people who've read all the comics are like, okay, now we're getting into the real shit, and it's not going to slow down from here. So
okay, I like this one a lot.
I've seen what the Mark with a cape means. That's wild. I had no idea that happens. We've got some shit coming in this second half of this series, and it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, it feels like like I said, because I only just watched the trailer before, but I feel like there's a lot of things are shown. There's a lot of story beats that seem to be shown in this trailer for half of the season, and I'm like, I feel like this is going to be like a lot's going to go down.
Yeah. And I also mean, like, Amazon are historically very good at not giving too much away in their TV show trailers.
It doesn't give too much away, but it teases enough that like, oh my god, seems like there's a lot going to happen here.
It's definitely going to be a busy one. Like, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I mean, what's it?
Yeah.
We've only got like a week until Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Then we've got X-Men 97 starts March 20th.
Yeah.
Invincible comes out the 14th of March.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of stuff. I feel like, have we actually covered anything new yet this year? Don't think so.
No, we just had. Other than like Percy Jackson kind of fell into.
Oh yeah, Percy Jackson's last couple of episodes.
Other than that, no.
We're going to be covering Madam Web next week, which I'm actually excited to see, despite it having terrible reviews. I think it has fallen into the so bad it's good category by the sounds of it, which I'm actually quite excited for. And now it just feels like we're just getting hit by everything. There's just so much animated
yeah,
stuff
I was
coming
gonna say it's
out.
all animated as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Even more good news. I can't contain the good news. Midnight Suns movie is apparently in the works, with the Werewolf by Night director Michael Giacchino apparently the favorite to direct.
This was something we discussed like way back at the start of the podcast.
Yeah,
Back when Blade had been announced.
yeah,
We'd obviously had Black Knight in Eternals,
yeah,
and you were like, there's a possibility here that they maybe are trying to. We knew, obviously, we were like hoping Daredevil was going to be coming back.
yeah. And with that we get the Punisher. You got Doctor Strange already. Then you get the Werewolf by Night project.
There was a lot of things
Maybe that's how
pointing
we
towards.
get Ghost Rider back. Like,
There was a lot of things potentially pointing to like, oh, maybe they're going to set up a Midnight Suns thing. And it now seemingly is confirmed.
yeah,
It's for sure
I
happening as a film.
I I I'm so excited. I think this is gonna be one where I want them, and I know I've said this for like 2 years straight now. I want them to have some creative fun with this, like
Yeah.
they let him do with Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, if they pick the Werewolf by Night's director, like I think that would be smart, give him the creative freedom they did for Werewolf by Night, and you could have a lot of fun with this for sure.
The way I want Marvel to operate is Kevin Feige does what Kevin Feige does, making sure they hit the stuff they need to hit, and that it all lines up nicely, and like almost like an auditor, which I know plays down his importance, but you know what I mean. And then get directors you trust and say to them, we have awesome comic book characters. Tell awesome comic book stories with awesome comic book visuals. There is no need for us to not, like, let's be completely clear. We cover silly, goofy shit. We are getting excited right now.
Yeah.
In this podcast about a man with metal claws, a man who shoots. Cyclops doesn't even shoot lasers from his eyes. His eyes are portals to a dimension of pure energy. That's how ridiculous this shit is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got the Thing, which is a Bronx spaceman who turned into a lump of rock, and his mate Johnny Storm, who turns into a human ball of fire.
Yeah.
Why are we trying to take ourselves so seriously? Have some fucking fun. Make it exciting.
Do you think that this is only now being confirmed because they've finally got Blade back on a straight and narrow in a direction they're happy with? And they're like,
I think it's one of two things. I think it's and more hopefully they've got Blade sorted and they know where they want to go with it.
yeah.
Or B, they are completely fucking lost with Blade and they need something to take Blade's spot that can still have Blade be in it, so that they have more time to work out the shit show that is this Blade solo film.
I think they figured out Blade, because the last we'd heard they were like in a better place with it. I think they figured it out. They figured out how to tie the Eternals end thing in. Then we've obviously got Moon Knight, which I think was one thing we talked about potentially could be in Midnight Suns.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's always been this talk of vampires and stuff. It's like, I think this is them going, okay, we're going to end up with a bunch of characters here that we've kind of set up to group up, but we don't really have a use for them that often in the actual MCU main canon timeline. What if we do a fun little like team up thing where we finally pay out all this talk of vampires and stuff?
This is Marvel Spotlight written all over it.
It is.
And Midnight Suns being like the first Marvel Spotlight film
could be good.
Could work.
Yeah.
And I've still not got to it because we've ended up having so many busy weeks. A lot of people might think Spider-Man 4 is going to be Marvel Spotlight. It should be. It won't be. Chris Nolan.
Yes.
Now, I will be honest. Last week, I was a little bit upset with Chris Nolan. Because he said he enjoys the Fast and Furious films.
Yeah, he said his guilty
No,
pleasure.
he said it's not a guilty pleasure. He's not guilty about it at all.
Oh,
he just likes them. I've always said just enjoy what you enjoy. And
Yep.
I do genuinely believe that. I don't enjoy the Fast and Furious films, and as we've already established, I'm a passionate guy, and therefore I passionately don't like them. That's not the whole truth. I love the early ones. I dislike
Yeah.
the later ones.
Everything after 5 went downhill.
Yeah, exactly. So it made me really upset that Chris Nolan was giving them an out. Just because I feel like they get let away with a bit too much shit anyway. He's redeemed himself though, in my eyes. Chris Nolan has once again angered film bros, which I
Yep.
love so much, by the way. Chris Nolan, which is like the shining beacon of film bro Twitter, just
It's almost like he
clearly does
knows.
not like them.
Yeah.
Honestly, bearing in mind we know that he doesn't really use the internet, so he probably doesn't know. The notion that you've got all these film bros who hang on every word he says, and he's just like, I fucking love when Dominic Toretto catches cars. It's fucking sick. Anyway, he said I haven't read the direct quote, but it's something along the lines of, God bless Marvel, they saved cinema during COVID.
Yeah, it's something like along the lines of, thank God for the MCU.
Yeah,
They kept
they
cinema alive through
they
COVID
kept
or
cinema
whatever.
alive. They proved that you could make money during the pandemic, and it saved cinema potentially.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we said it at the time. I think the most impressive thing Marvel's ever done is No Way Home make as much money as it did during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, and I've seen some insider reports about it, like Hollywood Insider, more recently, talking about how when Shang-Chi did what it did during the pandemic, that was a call to action to all other studios that you could still make money in the pandemic.
Yeah, I think their willingness to like figure it out on how to still make these films and get them out was impressive.
And I also want to give a lot of credit to Tom Cruise during the pandemic as well. I know there was that one audio of him on set that leaked with him berating everyone because they weren't following the rules, which got a bit memeified. But he was completely right. He didn't need to work during the pandemic. He's got enough money to never have to work again. He was making sure these people here so they could get jobs. And if people didn't take the rules seriously, people were going to lose their jobs, their livelihoods, maybe even their lives. So I think it's very good of Chris Nolan to point out how important comic book movies and these big franchises were for keeping cinema afloat during the pandemic. And that is it from us. That's
yes,
it.
that is
a weirdly positive Nerd News Network. I don't know. Maybe I've managed to avoid the negative.
I think Marvel's just like kind of blessed us this week.
Yeah. So there are apparently some reports that Marvel are going to drop another bombshell on us tomorrow, Friday.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if this is people just going, they've done something every day this week, so maybe we're going to get more.
Maybe.